Hello, everybody.
Woo.
Wow. Today we are doing a very special podcast, and the purpose of the podcast. Thank you very much, everybody. I have bad manners. I should be greeting all of you first. How are you? Are you good? That's up. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for joining us today on this Friday, the 1st of November. And I hope that we're going to be fast because it's a Friday, but it's fine. So today is a very special podcast that we're doing today specifically to introduce the podcast to our students, to staff, and management. And management should have been here, but they're not here. But we know it's a Friday, which is not a problem. We'll find them some other time. But also to introduce not only the podcast, the people behind the podcast, our diligent staff and the technical team that's working very hard to make sure that we have a podcast that is going on, and which is very wonderful. And also our hosts. So I'm just going to go for it. So I'm going to start first with the guys behind the scenes. We have Faranani Seko, who is our editor. And we also have Spepelo Mpila, who's the cameraman? Who's the cameraman between the two? Faranani Seko is the cameraman, and our editor is Spepelo Mpila. And then we have our sound crew. We have Roswika Seko, and I think he's working with some other guys. What's her person? Yeah, sure. And then we have our co-editors, Felix Shishave. And then we have Mr. Huitzi Mudimu. Can we please give them a round of applause? Thank you very much. And then now, I'm going to introduce our hosts. We have seated next to me here, our beautiful Anita Ngwenya. And then also next to her we have... she has a special way of introducing herself.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hottest thing under the sun.
And that is Ntlantla Masile. So, a round of applause. And thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lepoto. If you missed on the previous episode, you should just catch up and see that we had him, and then we were like, you have to come again. So yeah, welcome everybody. It's such an honor. Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction, by the way, sir. This is Mr. David Lepoto, everybody. He's one of the lecturers. He lectures music business in CJC. So yeah, welcome to Podcast at CJC, man. What's up, Anita?
What's up, Ntlantla? Also known as Sparkles.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you guys are wondering, what is actually going on. So we're just gonna introduce Podcast at CJC, as you guys can see behind us.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna introduce just like the concept and just kind of like get into the whys and and how we're gonna do it. But not only that, just talk about the logistics of the show as well. But before we get into that, we're just gonna quickly get to know the hosts, so you guys know who you're going to be seeing every day.
And then also ningamangali sibabaya namhlanje ne, we just these are our students from CJC, the N6s, so they are just here to kind of enlighten us more on what we are about to discuss right now. So yeah, like I said, am Ntlantla Masilela, aka Sparkles, Earthy _fella on Instagram, Ntlantla Masilela on Facebook. I study art and design here at CJC. I'm in N5. Yeah, that's about that. Is there anything I'm missing?
I'm not really sure. It's still a heavy.
There's still so much to just unpack.
For sure.
And just.
You. Well, I am Tabang, but I'm known as Anita Ngwenya. I am an N4 music performance student. I am not only an aspiring artist, but an aspiring teacher within the music field, and just a music entrepreneur in general. Like, there's just so much that I want to do. But
Music enthusiast.
yeah, it's just everything music. But we're not just going to get into that. We're going to get into other departments as well that we offer at this campus for now. We are eventually going to go into other campuses, but we are covering what is happening here at Smith campus.
Yeah.
So let's just get into the introduction of what we are doing. So Sparkles over here is just gonna let us know kind of like what this podcast is and the reason for the podcast.
So, as you all know, that this is podcast at CJC, and then before I get into everything, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. We would really like to hear what you guys think. After all, this is for you. So yeah, basically, a podcast at CJC is basically a foundation for artists in all aspects, whether you're doing hospitality, whether you're doing music, whether you're a visual artist. This is a platform where you get enlightened about what happens in the industry, the ins and out of not only their industry, but how to enroll yourself into CJC, the prospectus, what to expect and such. So basically this podcast was one of the lecturer's ideas, and this was just a great way to kind of give back to the students, because usually we struggle with getting jobs or just finding something. So this is basically CJC pulling us back right at it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys are wondering how we're going to do that, right? So basically, every episode, we're going to basically interview your lecturers. We have your students that are probably a bit more developed in whatever course they're studying. And we're also going to have your alumni, right? Past students who are going to pull through, and they're going to, talk about their experiences as well. And we're going to talk to people who are within the industry. So whether it be music, studio work, whether it be hospitality,
performance,
art and design, just all in all.
Yeah.
So that is literally, we're going to bring them forth, and we're going to talk about their upbringings, and we're going to talk about, their journey as to how they got into the space that they got into, and why they chose that space, and kind of like what is happening within that space.
Yeah, kind of just
to kind of like give them like what is actually going on.
Catering to your artistic needs.
Yeah,
as
for
you
sure.
would like to consider it.
Yes.
Yeah. So as you can see, we have guests here.
Yes, we
so
do.
What we're going to do rather on this episode is we're going to give these guests opportunities to tell us how it was when they were registering or enrolling into CJC. Hopefully this will be an eye-opening episode for you, whoever you are, wherever you are watching from. And and then Mr. David Lepoto here will just give us some of his wisdom. We are so lucky to have him again. I'm so excited. So where would you like to start, Anita?
When you say it's crazy.
It's crazy.
But before we get into that, before we get into just like, so we have representatives, right? We have your N6 studio work. We have your N6
art and design.
So over here is gonna hold music down, and we could not get hospitality, but we will share what we do know.
Yeah.
But in general, all you have to do in terms of applying to CJC, you just research the courses and the requirements. So you go online, and then you search www.cjc.edu.za online applications, and 20 whatever year you're applying for. That's if the applications are open. And then you choose the apply here.
Ooh.
Okay. And then you choose the apply here, and then it will basically show you how to apply and give you a step to step on how to apply. So so right now we're just going to
start with
get
Mr.
to know.
David.
No, we're gonna start that side. Mr. David
Why
is.
are we starting this side?
Because Mr. David is the
You
big
wanna
guns.
save the best for last?
No.
No
These
offense,
are these. Everyone is the best.
But then
Everyone is the
this guy
best.
plays the piano.
Yeah, but it's no. I think we should start that side also, just to introduce our guests because they have been, quite,
Yeah, what's
quiet
up,
for a
man?
while. So
What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
What's good, everybody?
Who are you?
Crazy.
Yeah, man. Tell us about yourself. Who are you? What do you do here? Yeah, that kind of stuff.
how did you get here as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Toriso, and
Also known as.
we doing that.
We're doing that.
Yes.
We're getting you out
We're
there.
doing
Okay,
that.
my name is Toriso, like I've said, also known as Chopper. My friends call me Chop. I don't know why. I've never asked them. Don't ask me why. I also don't know. But yeah, I'm a student here at CJC, doing N6 studio work.
What is
And
studio work?
What
So
is
sorry.
studio work? Studio work, actually, I could say it's like more of, there's two aspects of sound engineering. There's live and studio. Studio work is basically the aspect of studio within sound engineering as a field.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
that's what it is.
Alright, but why studio work? Why'd you pick studio work? Why CJC, man?
Why CJC? CJC was, I guess, the first institution that I knew that actually had studio work. And as a person, I've always aspired to be a producer. I don't know if I can say I am a producer, but I aspire to be a producer.
Yeah.
And I had noticed that, okay, in CJC, they cover basically everything that I have to know as a producer, and also qualifications that I have to have as a producer, and even more actually, because it doesn't only limit you to being a producer. You could do a lot more within studio work because of the different modules and all of that then qualify you to be able to do all of that. Yeah. What else did you need to know?
So I don't know. You can just touch into kind of like what the course kind of entails. So so there's the course, and I know it has like a few modules in it. So kind of like touch into what it is that you do in terms of the modules, and then also talk about like your application process, kind of like how you got into it. Did you have to submit anything? Do you just have to have a matric and have passion? Like, what is it like?
Let's start with the application process, because I
Okay.
feel like it's important. With the application process, like, okay, there's a few documents that are needed, of which I forgot, like, when last did I apply, bro? But yeah, there's a few documents. You have to have your matric because of the level, N4 level. I think if maybe we had an N3 level, then you wouldn't need matric.
Yeah.
But now, because it starts from N4 level, you definitely need your matric. You would probably need your ID copies for sure,
matric.
your proof of residence, and yeah. And what else? Oh, make sure to apply on time, like, because the system gets heavy, especially trying to apply towards the deadline. Yeah, the system gets heavy and applications get, but it's all electronic work, so
Is it a one-time application thing? Like once, if I apply for N4, when I get to N5 or whatever, do I apply again and again and again?
Oh, that applying is once, but registering is the trick, because you register for N4 and then you pass N4, you register for N5, and the same with N6. But then application is once.
Alright, and then what are the modules that it offers?
Modules that we do as studio work: sound engineering, we have electronic music, we have keyboard technique, and we have arranging and production. We also have music, bro. I forgot. We have music business. Sorry. Hey. It's crazy.
It's
But,
crazy.
yeah. How can I? But yes,
Yeah.
that's hence I'm saying it doesn't really limit you to actually doing one thing.
Because I've seen one of you guys do like video edits, sound edits in a movie or an advert. I was like, what? You guys do that?
Yeah, that actually it's under electronic music. So we actually, we edit for movies, trailers, adverts, and it also kind of helps with the art of actually making music, because like maybe some people got here with the passion, but they're not sure how to do it. So that's where they could actually learn with electronic music and production. And then we also have arranging in theory, which is for writing. Like maybe if you want to score for movies, like you don't want to make the song, make the song per se, but you don't want to have to do all the electronic work. But now you just want to write it down, score it down for movies, and
Sure, that is a lot.
Wow, that sounds.
I just wanted to ask how long is the course? And because I know in most courses you kind of like have because I'm guessing it's 3 semesters, right, in terms of like your theory and your work and stuff, and then you kind of have your practical stage, which is pretty much the same time. So like how does that work in terms of you being a studio student? So now you're an N6 student, right? You're about to get your qualifications, you're done with the 3 semesters. How do you go about you tackling the next 18 months? And what could you possibly intern as? Because I'm guessing you have to intern those practical months. Yeah, so get into that.
The period is the same, 18 months each, which makes the course then a total of 3 years. And I think to have your qualification ready for you have to then also complete the internships as well. We're not limited as to where
You can get an
yes.
internship.
We're not limited to where you could do that, and we're also not limited as to what type of internship it is. It could be live sound internship, or it could be studio internship, but it has to be within the sound engineering aspect of everything. So with that, I could say, well, after N6, it's just internships, and after internships, that's when you can actually have your papers.
Your qualifications.
That's when you can
Yes.
actually be a qualified sound engineer.
Yes.
Sure.
Sure.
That is a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a
It's
lot.
not that long.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot because I can imagine you all come out as N6 students and now you need to go find these internships.
Is that easy to find?
Ish.
How do you
Is
find that?
that easy?
Honestly, it feels like a drag, yo. But I'd say it's just keep looking. When you keep looking, for sure you'll find something. Because one thing I can say, there are a lot of companies that deal with sound engineering. So yeah, there's a variety. So if you keep looking, you'll find. That's it.
Sure. Okay.
Mr. Music Business Lecturer, Mr. Piano Player Lecturer.
You really want to get to Sen?
Oh.
Mem is quite over there. Everyone knows so already.
Who's this? CJC. Guys, you must come to CJC. And if you don't know Z at CJC, you don't know CJC Smith. Yabo. Thank you so much. It's a busy episode. It's a busy episode. So while we're at that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Yabona. Siqale ngawe sibone ukuthi na ugcwele ngathi. Yabo. So Mr. David Lepoto, how are you feeling?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
How you feeling?
I'm good, thanks. And how are you? I'm feeling good.
You feeling good?
Yes.
Namhlanje yena ke
Because
nisayeka.
tomorrow I don't have to go to work. It's a Saturday.
So ilanga lela u-Anita angazwani nalo.
Yabo.
Angishonga kanjalo.
Ilanga lela u-Anita angazwani la. Ilanga lena again. Okay. Mr. Lepoto say, so I'm just trying to get more of your music business perspective in terms of just because I heard it has like 3 stages or whatever, or when you in N4 you do marketing, and when you're in N5 you do product. I don't know.
Yes, that's true. Actually, at N4 level, we talk about mostly the recording sector of the music industry.
Yeah.
So we're talking about record companies, we're talking about artists, producers, and we look at contracts. So, and also we look at methods of hustling in the recording space.
That's
you
only
know.
in N4
Yeah,
level.
and that's only at N4 level. So mostly we talk about the recording industry, because a record, first and foremost, it is a product that we sell in the music industry. So we have to talk about the recording industry. Who are the players in the game, and how do you sell records? Actually, today I had a lecture discussing different methods of selling physical records. So it was more of a history class, because we now sell digital records, downloads and streams and all of those things. So at N4 level, basically the syllabus talks largely about the recording sector, by the way, how to make money by selling records, and how to negotiate contracts with everyone involved at N4 level. And then at N5 level, we talk about how do you sell compositions. These will be songs, melodies, these will be beats, by the way. Yeah, so we talk about that.
Composition and record can be
Those are two different
Two different
products.
things.
I
Yes.
didn't know that. Okay.
Because for a record to be made, you need to show up in the studio and sing in front of the microphone, which means you're going to make sound. That sound gets recorded. And then the output is a record. That's what we call a record.
Okay, so
So
I
they
can
are
come with my composition and record, which makes it the whole two different things.
Yes, those are two different things.
Okay.
A song is
Go
a
on.
product and a record is a product altogether.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
So the composer makes money from selling songs to record companies. And the record company takes the song, gets the artist to perform the song. When the artist performs the song, the artist makes sound in the studio. That sound gets recorded. And that's what we call a record of a music performance.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a full description of what a record is. So at N4 level, we talk about records, how to make records, how to talk to the industry to make these records, and different types of players who can sell these records. And then at N4 level, at N5 level, we talk about composers. You will never make a record without a composition. Everything else starts with a composition. Yes. And then composers sell their compositions to different music users. By the way, they sell to record companies, because record companies take the composition and make something out of it, which is a record. So, and then you have at N6 level, then we talk about marketing, because essentially music is a marketing tool.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it's all about, music. In much it is an art form, but at the same time it is a marketing tool. So we look at how is music, what's the value of music in the marketing industry. And also because artists, by their very own nature, they are brands, by the way.
Yeah.
And that the reason why a record company wants to sign an artist, it is because they believe an artist will be able to sell the record of the artist. The reason why record companies will sign an artist, it is because they believe an artist will be able to sell their records, basically. So that's what we look at. So N4 we talk about the recording sector. N5 is the publishing sector, which is about compositions. And at N6 level we talk about marketing, basically. And for each level, just to supplement what Chopper was saying, actually, responding to your question, if you pass N5, N4, each and every level is if you do it for about 6 months roughly. Sure, of course, with breaks in between. So when you pass a level, you get a certificate. N4 level, you get a certificate. N5 level, you can get a certificate. X6 level, you can. Actually, each and every level is an exit point.
Yeah.
Is an exit point, by
So
the
I
way.
can just leave with my N4.
You can live with your N4 if you're satisfied, if you got what you want. If you don't want to go up to the diploma level, because to get a diploma, you need, which is correct to say that everything adds up to 3 years if you do after doing an internship for 6 months, for 1 year, 6 months.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I'm so sorry, Anissa, just one last question.
Yeah.
When it comes to artists publishing their music,
Yes.
when it comes to the music business sector,
Yeah.
the publishers, are they South African, or is it locally published, or can you just seek out publishers from wherever? How does it work?
Oh yeah, that's a good question, by the way. If your music is used in South Africa, you need a publisher here in South Africa. That's all. You can only have one publisher at a time, by the way.
Okay.
So the role of the publisher is to manage your song. What do we mean by that? Or your composition. What do we mean by that? They must find opportunities for your composition, by the way. People must use your composition. And they must make sure that you get paid. So if your composition is only used in South Africa, you must get someone to manage your composition here in South Africa. In this case, it's a publisher. But if it happens that very same song is used in another country, then your publisher must find somebody to manage that composition in that country. By the way, you don't have to do that because you can only sign one publishing contract because a publishing deal is universal, by the way. So even if you have a publisher in South Africa, but your song is big in Brazil, then your publisher must go represent you there. Either he goes and sets up an office there or he finds another publisher to collaborate with in order to manage your composition.
Is a publisher and a record label the same thing?
No, those are two different things. The publisher sells songs, the record company sells records. A label is a record, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And I understand what you mean because the music business is extremely complicated. And our students are blessed that in their course, by the way, there's a music business subject because it's not easy to understand the terms and concepts in music business. It's extremely complicated, by the way. And for the department to approve that this course, it needs music business to complement what the students are going to get, basically to prepare you for the industry out there, and so that all my students, they understand basically when you finish here and you go into the music industry, no one is going to take advantage of you, by the way, because we deal with everything anyway. So record and music are two different things altogether. Yeah, so which means that if a record company gives you a recording deal and you can compose as well, your job is simple. You just show up in the studio and you wait for the record company to give you the composition. Your job is to perform the composition. Right, sure. So in other words, you don't bring your compositions into the studio only if the record company gave you a recording deal. In other words, so an artist is an equivalent of an actor. I like to make to draw comparisons between the music industry and the film industry, by the way.
Yeah.
How so? So when I make examples in class, sometimes I would say a recording artist is equivalent to an actor, right? And the composer is equivalent to a scriptwriter. So in other words, if you're an actor in a movie production, do actors write their own scripts? No, they don't. So the movie production company, by the way, it has to hire a scriptwriter to do what? To write your lines, what you're going to say and all of those things. So in the recording industry, it applies. It's the same thing. The record company must find a composer to write songs for you that you are going to see. You get what I mean? So those are two different things, by the way. Yes, but it's also not easy to understand what I'm saying in this short space of time that we have.
It needs a proper session.
Yeah.
It needs a proper session.
Yeah.
Anita.
Yeah. So when you qualify with when you are done with your course here at CJC, either at N4, N5, N6 level, you can work anywhere in the music industry. You can become an administrator. You can become an executive. You can become even an entrepreneur. You can start your own thing.
Because of this one course.
Because of this specific course alone. By the way, you can become a producer. You can become an artist manager. You can become an events organizer, where you organize music festivals and all of those things. You can become a publisher yourself. You can become a copyright administrator. You can run a record company. You can sign an artist. You can become a sound engineer. You can become a beat maker because they do production. You can become what we call final mix in the film industry because that's what they do when they're doing production, the production subject, by the way. You can do final mixing. Final mixing, which means that you have the visuals and then you put the music or the audio. You synchronize the audio with the visuals, by the way. You can do jingles. So jingles is which is what he was telling you, that you can actually compose music for adverts because a jingle is a composition for an advert. It's a record for an advert. crazy.
Record for an advert.
Yes, there's lots of records. There's too many records. There's a ringtone, there's a ringback, there's a jingle, and then there's a full-length record. So those are different formats of records.
Say.
So it's a lot. So and I'm not expecting you to understand the technicalities for now, but just know that there's lots different formats of records. A ringtone, a jingle, a ringback, and then also the a full-length record as well.
Sure. I'm going to stop this interview. We moved from introducing the podcast to an interview, but we're not mad about it. It's okay. We definitely do. The most exciting thing about what just happened here is that we actually do have an episode that we did shoot where we had an interview with Sir, so make sure you guys look forward to that. But yeah, to actually, let's just move to Mem. We'll come back to you because we needed to talk about the introduction of the music sector and how to get into the music sector. And just to clarify it, music business isn't a course, it's a module within a course, right? So you get it within, so it's not an individual thing. So you don't sign up for music business, you get music business within the different courses. So that's why, guys, please do not get confused. But well, so we're gonna move over to Mem over there. And Mem, are you good? I know you've been quiet for such a long time. You want to represent your people. You want to speak and represent the people. But I know. Please just tell us who you are. What is your name? What department you're in? And just tell us what your department entails. Like, what is it? Like, if you have different modules, like, what is it? Just give us a lowdown of what your department is.
Okay.
That's I'm giving a clue. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Zinhle, aka Zay. So everyone knows me as Zay.
AKA.
AKA Zay.
AKA Zay.
I was cold. I'm fine.
Okay. So my department is the art and design department. So I'm in N6 final semester. So basically what we have, the modules is, okay. Let me start with the applications.
Yeah.
Okay, application process. So we got the link to apply online. After that, we wait a period of time when the application's closed. So art students, we actually have like an assessment. So you bring your portfolios in, and then like you're gonna have like a little exam where you just like draw something and then like answer a few questions. Then they will select who they want to do. Then after that, you get in, hopefully. So art and design is not like business and hospitality. We actually start from intro N4, and then like we go to N4, N5, and N6. So for us, it's actually a total of 24 months. Yeah, 24 months?
Yeah, it's 24 months.
Yeah, 24 months. So that's N6. And like the subjects we have, it's history of art, as well as drawing, graphic design. Graphic design as a whole is like Illustrator, InDesign. Yeah, and then we have painting as well. So that's it. That's basically art and design.
That's basically art and design.
Yeah, as a nutshell.
You missed a few parts. Okay, so in art and design, remember we have in intro we don't have a history of art. Now with the music and business, with the music and art side, the difference is music has music business. We have history of art, which is basically the core subject of art, just like music business. So history of art basically just goes back to where art began, kinda, and then you only get that when you get to N5. Was it N5?
N5, yeah.
N5.
N4 we have like EVM.
Oh yeah, and then in N4 we have business entrepreneurial management.
Yeah.
EBM, which is like EMS-ish, business management-ish.
Yeah.
Which also entails marketing and how to just make a brand for yourself.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, well, what am I forgetting, Z?
So like EBM, N4, and then from N5 it's like your history of art, yeah. And then when you get to N6, just know like your painting and your drawing, you become more conceptual with it as opposed to following a reference.
And then we had sculpting also.
Yeah, sculpting in intro. In intro you more have like your sculpting, your printmaking, and like obviously a graphic design.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have like a theory subject in intro.
Yeah. What's your best experience in CJC Smith?
Well, so far my best experience in CJC is like learning to discover my art style.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm not a realist, rather an expressionist. Yeah, so I don't follow traditional means of drawing something like as a picture. I'd rather draw something which is inside my head or how I feel as opposed to like painting anything natural.
Sure. Just, I have a question for you. So with you having to, within the 24 months, within the 24 months, right? You're getting all of this from the histories of the art and stuff like that. So I'm guessing you guys do not have internships. Do you guys have the practical side of things? After that, if you don't, then when you once you receive that degree within the art space, what can you then get into? Like, have they expressed kind of like the career paths that you guys could kind of like get into, or you're just going to be an artist in general? You're just going to draw and sell paintings. Like, what is it? Like, what can you get out of the course in general once you've completed it?
Okay, so it depends on like what you want to do. So if you're more visual, you can go into like fine arts and stuff. So you can start your own studio. You can also internship with some artists as well. If you're more of the like graphic design element, you have to figure out which part of graphic design you want to do. So say you're into posters, you'll have to find companies that do posters. If you want to do video editing, you can go into different types of filmmaking industries as well. So if you want to do web design, which we're currently busy with, you have to find like web design companies, to help you with the internships. But it's not easy to find an internship, trust me.
There's also animation in what we're doing. We animate things. We make games. We code. We make posters, adverts. Yeah, so there's so much to delve into, especially as a graphic designer, because you can easily go into advertising or so many companies. Yeah.
Marketing.
Yeah.
Sure, that is kind. So it's not just you're not just going to be who's that famous painter? There's Picasso, then there's the one with the V.
Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci.
Van Gogh. Yeah, him. Okay, so it's far beyond that.
Yeah, it's far beyond that.
Okay. Now, sir, back to you. Now back to you. Back to you, just to ask the same question that we were asking across, because that was a personal interview there. We should have stepped out to it. I know when you hear the all tend, because I know what you have to talk about is so valuable to a lot of the industries that are offered at this campus. But just quickly talk us through the process of the music performance side of things. How do you get into that? I don't know, I'll help out as well in terms of like music, but in general, what you can, like, how do you get into music performance? When you apply, what do you need? What documents do you need, and so forth?
Well, yeah, if you want to do music performance as a study at the college, you'll then have to submit an application in advance. I think that's like 6 months in advance or so, or maybe 3 months in advance. I'm not so sure. You submit an application and online, and then we evaluate your submission, and then if we think that you do have a matric certificate, you do have grade 12, you've passed your grade 12, and then we invite you for an audition, Yes, we want to see if you can sing. We want to see if you can create something as a music performer. And then, because there's students who want to do music performance, but you realize that, maybe music performance is not necessarily, what they should be going for. Maybe they should do studio work, or maybe they should try something else and all of those. Or maybe they should go somewhere first to develop their talent and all of those things before they can come here. Because our study here is very short. It's about 1 year, 6 months combined, N4, N5, N6. As opposed to universities. Universities, your studies for 4 years. Full. At least there's you can do that for a long period of time, and then you'll have ample time to develop your talent. You know what I mean? So sometimes here, if we realize that maybe this is not necessarily the instrument that you want to do, maybe we can recommend that you do a different instrument. Like, if we think that you shouldn't play an instrument, then maybe you should be a vocalist. Then we can advise you to do all of those things. So all of these will be an outcome of the audition you would have done. Thereafter, we can ask you to, if it depends, sometimes we can ask you to do some kind of an assessment to check your literacy skills, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's what we do. And then thereafter, and then there's I think right on the spot, and the determination is made whether we accept you or we don't accept you. On the spot,
sure.
yes. Sure. So that's how you come into the college, by the way. And thereafter, afterwards, then you can do your registration. So
that's
all these activities are pre-registration. First, you submit your application online, you do an audition, you do a basic assessment, and then thereafter you can do your registration. Then you can come to my class.
Then you can.
You can come to his class.
Yes, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And then just to add on to what Sir quickly said, the process is pretty much a bit similar to the studio work people. So we get 18 months of theory and so forth, just all the education, and then the other 18 months is it internships or it's basically the same thing as studio work. And then you come back and then you get your qualifications. And I know we're missing a department which is hospitality. But like I said, you guys can go online and you guys can check out, just like the requirements and so forth on www.cj.edu.za online application 2025. And that is basically the departments that we offer here at school. If you guys kind of like just want to check out the school and you kind of like want to get into depth as to what these different courses really offer, then you guys can do that. But not only that, you guys can also tune into our episodes here at podcast at CJC. And you guys can also check out episodes that will be dropping right after this one. We're basically we've talked to a few lecturers, we've talked to students, we're yet to get, alumni, but that is the end of the show.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for all the representatives.
Thank you to the panel. Thank you to the audience.
Thank you to the audience. Thank you so much for pulling through. Thank you so much to the camera crew.
Thank you, Anita.
And I know we are getting into exam season, right? Really soon. We're getting into exam season. We really do not have a lot of time because I know there was a lot that was going on here.
But hopefully on the next episode.
We have no idea. We still remember some were recorded already. So, but exam season is coming up, and there was, I don't know, sir, do you think there's time to kind of like just touch on that? Okay. Not just okay. There really isn't that much time, but we're heading into exam season, and I just quickly, everyone's getting 30 seconds. As an N6 student, just give advice to kind of like your N4s and your N5 students as to what to look forward to in terms of them writing their exams, and if they face this challenge, you can do this, but calm down, because this is what you can expect.
Okay, short. Be on time,
Yes.
for sure. Study. It looks like a lot, but it's not that much. Just study what you have to, and don't stress. Just keep time. It's crazy.
It's
It's crazy.
Ma'am over there.
Okay, so just study and keep calm. Don't stress too much. Just study yourself and you'll be fine. Just have confidence in yourself.
Thank you very much. I'm going to reiterate what Chopper said. Just be on time. If the exam starts at 9, you must be in the exam venue 30 minutes before. So if the exam starts at 9, you must be there by 8:30. If the exam starts at 2, you must be there by 1:30. If you are late, we're not going to let you in. Even if you are late by just a minute, we're not going to let you in. Thanks.
Yeah. And I think one of the things I've also heard from people on the outside is that try to balance everything out. But yeah, it's your girl Anita Ngwenya and
Sparkles, and don't forget to grab your ID for the exam, ne? Grab
your
ID
permits.
and your permit.
Yes.
Yeah, We Have to Love and Leave You was beautiful. Your host with the most, Commando,
Yeah.
Anita.
And guys, please don't forget to follow us on all our
All
social
social
media
media
platforms
platforms.
at podcast at CJC. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. Thank you so much.
Yo, it's music. Lights, camera, and acts, we shoot. And if you got what it gives, pick your strings and tune in the groove. And just know we got Picasso's grooming and culinary designers if your guts are foodie. Round Smith Street is where the jazz resides. Creative minds combined and expressions become alive. I'm quite surprised that you taken it by surprise. Seeing Africa pull a dime out of his pocket and made you smile. We got sound engineers, whoa. Mini Basquiat's and culinary pioneers, whoa. Not saying it's just us, but yo, we better than. This is where we know for certain that your passion wins. Thanks for tuning in.